Hi everyone, welcome back to IREC-E. In this tutorial, you will learn how to quickly and correctly link an AutoCAD file into Revit for accurate modeling and project coordination. Whether you are an architect, engineer, or a BIM enthusiast, this step-by-step guide will help you improve your workflow and avoid common mistakes. You will also learn the difference between using the link card and import card. Let's begin. Alright, to begin, I'm just going to go to New here, click on New, then I go to New Project and click on the tiny arrow to select a metric architectural template. Once you do that, make sure that under Create New, that the project here is checked. If you come here and check the project template, that means you already have an existing template, maybe a default template or your company designed template. For the purpose of this tutorial, we're just going to click on project and click OK. The next thing is to go ahead and either import or link the file into Revit. But for this tutorial, we are going to be using the link card. I'm going to exit out of this and open up an AutoCAD file. Before we go ahead and export this into Revit, I want you to understand that linking cards can be done for different purposes. Now for this tutorial, we are linking this into Revit just for the purpose of modeling this architectural plan to produce a 3D out of it. So to begin with, there are two different ways you can do that. Now since the plan is two-story building, as you can see, it has ground floor, then it has first floor plan, and then it has second floor plan. Now what makes all of these plans different? It looks like a typical structures, all right, a typical floors. Now here you can see that we just have this plan and there is a sign here which is tagged cantilever line. And then when you go to the first floor, you see that the cantilever portion here has constituted a block wall. Meanwhile, the plans remain the same. Then when you now move to the second floor, you're also going to notice that at that same point, it has formed a balcony and probably there's a handrail around it, and the same thing is applicable to this side. So you can just link it in one file like this, but in this case I'm just going to go the second route and not this route, because during modeling in Revit, if you have the three files in one like this, it takes a lot of hassle for you to get through it. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to separate all of this into three separate files. All right, now to do that, what I just have to do is to select the first one, which is the ground floor, then I type W, hit enter. All right, looking at this dialog box, you could see right block. All right, now make sure that the object is checked. Here for the object you have a couple of options, all right, but just make sure it's on retain. And then here you are just going to give it direction where you want to save it. Here I just want to save it into a file or probably create folder for it. Right click and go to new folder, or let's just name the folder link file tutorial. Then I'm going to make sure it's on new block DWG, and then the AutoCAD is saved in AutoCAD 2007, and right here I'm using AutoCAD 2024, so you could just decide to change it to whichever AutoCAD version by clicking on this tiny arrow. All right, so let me save it on AutoCAD 2018, whichever one goes, and then make sure it's entering your link file tutorial. So I click on save again, then here you click on OK. Then we repeat the same process for the rest of the two. So I'm just going to select this, W, enter. So here I'm just going to check this box. Oh, that reminds me, the first one we saved, we didn't give it a name. So right here we have new block. so we just have it as new block. But if you want to change the name, you right click there, then here we can rename it and call it ground floor. Then we come to this next one here. We are going to rename this as first floor, then click on save. So here you make sure it's on retain again, then make sure that insertion unit is on the unit in which the drawing was made. So here I have it as millimeters, which is correct. Click on OK. Then the third one, I'm going to do the same, W, enter. Same process, click on this. The only thing different is to change the name. This is going to be second floor, so I'm just going to write it in a short form. Click on save. Okay, so I have these three in different files right now. So I'm just going to click on my document. You see the link file tutorial, so double click on it. You're going to see the three files here: ground floor, first floor, and second floor. So I'm going to close it back. Then we move back to Revit. Here is my Revit. So at this point, before we start linking, of course, you know when you open a new Revit file, it's going to come with floor plan level 1, level 2, then site. Then it's also going to come with ceiling plans, level 1, level 2, then elevations and the rest of them. But for the purpose of what we want to do, we are going to link an architectural plan that has ground floor, first floor, and second floor into this. So we are going to set levels for all of them. And to do that, I'm just going to go to one of the elevation views, which is the south elevation. Any elevation is good to go, but I choose the south elevation. So this is level 1 and level 2 by default. So I'm just going to click here and set the height for my own model. Here we have it as 4,000. So I'm just going to click there and set it 3,000. So this is going to be from ground floor to first floor. Then I'm going to set more levels. So I'm just going to click on architectural here. Then move towards the right here and you see levels. You pick levels. Just move your cursor towards and then make sure it snaps at some point there. So you will see it snap like that, and watch the dimension as it follows your cursor. You can just type maybe 3,000 millimeters and click at that point. So drag it towards the right. Once it snaps to the other levels, you click. So we have level 1, level 2, and level 3. Then click on levels and type 3,600 or rather 4,000 millimeters. Then click, move your cursor down and click. Then you hit escape. Then the next thing you want to do is to set the levels according to your own specification. So here we have it as level 1. And call this ground floor. Click on yes. Then I move to the next one. I will call this first floor. Click on yes again. Then I move again and call this second floor. Just click outside. Click yes. Then this can be my final level. Click outside. Now if I'm taking this level to be my final level, that means I'm going to turn it back to 3,000 millimeters. Then I may likely have another level for the roofing. Now, if you observe the project browser, you're going to see all of these levels, all of these views populate right here. Since we have floor plans, you're going to see them populate under floor plans and under ceiling plans. But in this case, we are not using the ceiling plans. In order to avoid confusion, I'm just going to select all the ceiling plans and delete them, which of course you can bring back whenever you need it. So after selecting it, I right click, click on delete. So I only have floor plans, all right? Now if you want to bring it back for any reason, just go to view tab here. Because it is ceiling plans, you're going to click on that and you have them here. Once you select them, and click OK, they are going to come back to your project browser. So here I'm going to cancel. Now the next thing we want to do is to move to the specific view where we are linking the card. We go to ground floor right here and double click on it. Now from insert tab, locate link card, click on it. From here you can navigate through and the file is saved inside the desktop. So I click on desktop. That is link file tutorial, so double click on it to open it. So here we have the ground floor. Click on the ground floor and do a few settings here. File name ground floor DWG, files of type is DWG file. All right. However, you can drop this down and select the type of file, but here we have it as DWG. And then colors, we are going to preserve colors, and don't forget to make sure you check this box if you want it to appear on the current view only. But if you want it to appear on all other views on your project, don't check this. But here I'm going to check it because I just want it on the current view. And for layer, here we have all. If you drop this down, you see visible and specific. So just leave it here as all. Import units. Click here and select the unit in which the drawing was made. So I'm going to select millimeters, all right? And then you come to position it. Here I'm going to leave it as auto center to center. So it will appear at the center of your drawing space. Click on open. So we have it here. Now if you see, check all your elevation symbols. You notice it appeared at the center here. Now we are also going to link the rest of them according to their specific levels. I go back to link card. Then I have the first floor here. Do all the necessary setup. Click on open. Then we do same for the second floor. I'm going to double click on that and link card as well. Then click on second floor, open. So we have it. Now that we have all these floors linked into Revit, what are we going to do with it? Now at this point, this is where you start modeling. And how do you start modeling? Now for the purposes of showing you the differences between link card and import card, I'm going to model this ground floor, move to architecture, then click on wall. Let's set up the walls. So here I'm just going to click on wall, edit type. Here I'm just going to duplicate this and give the wall the appropriate thickness in which this plan was designed. So I'm just going to call this 225 millimeter wall. Click OK. Then click on edit. Here I'm going to edit the wall. Thickness is 225 millimeters. So I click OK. Click OK. So I have that wall. But however, if you also check, you will discover there are other walls also, like this particular wall here is 150 millimeter wall. So I'm also going to edit type again just to create this other wall, so that by the time you start designing, you won't have any reason to go back to do setting. So I'm going to duplicate this one and type 150 wall. Click OK. Now we have that. So I'm going to start with the 225 wall. So I click here and I have the 225 millimeter wall here. Select it, and then under base offset, under the base constraint, I have the ground floor here. Then the top constraint, I'm going to click here to select the first floor, meaning that the wall is running from ground floor to first floor, which is 300 millimeters high. So of course the location line is going to be wall center line because they are of the same thickness. All right, we have other options as well, but here is wall center line. So I'm just going to start from here and go this way. You will always have it snap at every intersection, so just go ahead and keep modeling it. So when you get to points like this, instead of run 225 millimeter wall, we'll come back to wall and we switch back to 150 millimeters, and then we'll run it here on this one. All right, now I've modeled this to an extent, so I'm just going to go to the 3D. If you look at this model, you're going to see a cantilever here, and this cantilever, if you check on one of the floor plans, like I open this, representing it on this as cantilever line. Now, if I want to make any modification on this plan right now, I cannot make modification here because this is not where the plan was made. There is no way I can delete this without deleting the entire imported file. Highest I can do inside of Revit is to go to VG, which is visibility and graphic override, and silence the imported file. Now let me demonstrate that. If I type VG, this dialog box comes up. Here you're going to see imported categories. Once you click on imported categories, uncheck that box and every one of the elements will be shut out. Once you click apply, the imported file will disappear. Now by so doing, you can continue modeling here, but I'm going to bring it back because it's helping us to trace and know where to put the windows and all other building elements. So I'm just going to type VG to bring it back. Now go to import categories, check this, click apply and click OK. Now looking at this ground floor plan inside Revit, you're going to notice that there's a line here that represents the cantilever line. But when you now go to other floors, like you go to first floor right here, you're going to see there is no line there. Instead, it is represented by a wall. If you also go to the second floor, where is second floor here, it is also represented by something else, all right? The slab now represent a balcony. So what I will do in order to modify this is to go to the AutoCAD file. I'm going to delete this and then I will come back to Revit and update it, and you will not see this line again once it is done. So that's the difference between link CAD and import CAD. In import CAD, there is no room for any sort of modification on the CAD file. It is imported and it is locked like that. Everything you're doing has to be according to what is designed on the AutoCAD file. So to do that, I'm just going to open the source file. Then I'll go to ground floor and double click. So here is the source file to the link CAD. So this is the cantilever line, and I'm going to select this cantilever line and delete it. So I'm just going to close this. You notice the change has not been effected. This particular one is still here. So what I will do to effect that change is to go to Manage tab, click on Manage, then come down to Manage Links. So I'm just going to click on CAD formats, going to be ground floor. Then here we are just going to click on Reload. Once you click on OK, you notice that the cantilever line here has been deleted. So that's what differentiates the link CAD from import CAD.